Good morning, my friends. First video for the season, I think. 2019 video? Yes, I think so. I'm starting the outdoor motorcycling, adventure touring, geocaching, whatever season this year on the beautiful island of Öland, just off the south coast of Sweden. Today it's the 30th of March, if I remember right. And 2 days ago was a great day for all these people, all these Yamaha fans who were eagerly waiting for the Yamaha T700 Tenere, the new highly appreciated adventure bike Yamaha has been presenting 2.5 years ago. Still not on the market. They did this, in my opinion, ridiculous world raid tour. I had expected they are sending a bunch of guys really going around the world, and believe it or not, I even tried to contact Yamaha in my naivety and asked them, do you need a driver for Scandinavia? Maybe we wanted to have average people testing the bike. No, what does Yamaha do? They take a bike in a box to a few very prominent riders, let them make a few loops in front of the cameras, pack the bike and send it to the next destination. So we will see if maybe the Tenere shows up at the end of this season. I know many people are tired of this, I was also, so I did something else. So here she is, my new adventure bike, the best one of them all, I guess. The brand new KTM 790 Adventure R, which I picked up yesterday in Kalmar, just at where the bridge to the island of Öland starts, where I am right now. So I'm testing this bike right away now, 3 days, 2.5 days, touring on mixed surfaces, like asphalt roads, gravel roads. We are not really allowed to do off-road, and I'm not really an off-road rider, I have to admit, but I still decided for the R model because I simply wanted to have the best adjustable suspension. So you see I've kitted the bike already for traveling. I've attached the little Endurostan back. Now I don't remember which model that is. I think it says here 4H. So that's the flexible one. It isn't as stiff as the other models. So that's adapting a bit more to the shape of the tank. I had that already on the Africa Twin, which I left at the dealer there, got nice money for that, and that tank bag adjusts nicely to the shape of the tank. You see also, first a coffee. Really cold. You see also I've also attached the Moscow Moto R80 system already, fits very nicely. For the Africa Twin I had actually made it wider in the base, because you could not remove the passenger handles, grab handles from the bike. Here it's a bit different. Once I'm at home, I'm gonna remove those handles and just leave the luggage plate. I'm also planning to get a metal aluminium luggage plate on the top, and then I can take these inserts, which I have made here, out again. By the way, there's a video about soft luggage which you also find in my channel. I think once these grips are off, you can take these out and they will fit even nicer. Let me show you some details about that, because it's quite cool that actually they fit quite nicely, but you do not have any problems with the exhaust. Okay, now this little strap is touching it, but that's normally not there. But you see, as we attach now, we just touched the bag on the already existing plastic heat shield for the passenger feet. On the other side it hangs quite nicely, and it has sufficient distance from the swing arm. And I guess if I remove the passenger handles, which you see up there, you don't really see them, then the whole thing will get a little bit slimmer even, and that is nice. I don't like these very wide setups with aluminium panniers which require a rack, because when you need to bypass some obstacle, like the occasional road barrier, you have a problem there. I've also very temporarily attached a GPS holder simply with a clamp on the handlebar, and attached very roughly the cable directly to the battery. I need to check if there is, and I'm sure there is, a switched 12 volt outlet contact somewhere in this plastic here on the front, but you need to split that whole part for. That's a little bit of work I need to figure out. I think these metal reinforcement bars need to come off, and then you can take the windshield off, and then you can split that thing in half. Also because I want to replace this standard 12 volt cigarette lighter style outlet with a 2 ampere 2 times 5 volt USB outlet, which I have already at home. I had that on the Africa Twin and it worked quite nicely. My tip: don't buy the cheapest crap from the local car accessory store, because these will not last. The vibration kills them. I have one which I bought in Germany, and from a German very well-known shop, and that has lasted at least 2 seasons on the Africa Twin. So here she is, my new KTM Adventure R 790, and I will just show you, just to complement the picture, this is actually the nice place where I spent my night today. One of these wind shelters, and over there is the sea. Do you hear that? Yeah, you can hear the waves and the birds. And my friends, one very last, very important tip: never ever transport a can of beer inside a dry bag with the rest of your food and kitchen equipment and your towel. It will leak. Okay, see you a bit later once I've been riding a little bit. Hello again. 2 days later, I've been riding the KTM 790 Adventure R now for a little bit over 400 kilometers. I picked it up 2 days ago, as I've already shown you, in Kalmar, and then went over the bridge to the island of Öland, and now have been traveling this fantastic island. I'll show you some pictures later. All the way from the northern to the southern tip, and I'm here right now at Ölands södra udde, also the southern end of Öland, and now I'll just go back to Kalmar, where my car with the trailer is waiting. So 400 kilometers, burned through one gas of tank. One tank of gas, of course. I'm mixing this up always. And that was a bit strange, because the yellow light came on already around, I think, 350 kilometers. Still, the display is showing me 4.4 liters on 100 kilometers, so that should give me definitely over 400 kilometers, almost 450 kilometers reach, if my math is right. So either that average consumption display metering is wrong, or I had not really filled it up, which is completely, which is not impossible, because, you know, it's 2 halves of the tank. So maybe it wasn't really balanced, I didn't wait long enough after I had filled it up. Otherwise, the bike is a blast. It is really amazing. The Africa Twin was a nice bike. It was gentle, it was easy to ride, but it was heavy. That one here is about at least 50 kilos lighter. I still have some camping gear on it, so a bit more weight on it, but not too much, maybe 20 kilos with tent and stove and stuff. But you really notice the difference in the engine. The Africa Twin is much lower RPMs. It has more power, I think, from the lower RPMs. This one really needs to run high. Not really high, but it's missing a little bit this tractor feeling that you have on the Africa Twin. But nevertheless, I'm not really pushing it hard, because the engine is not broken in yet. It has plenty of power. I did a few full accelerations, and oh man, this pulls really your arms long. I have also opted for the Quick Shifter Plus. Works nicely, but first time I'm using it, so I have to get a little bit used to it. The timing between clutch or no clutch and shifting and gas is a little bit different, because if you use the clutch, you should not put any little load on the shifting lever in this microsecond before you pull the clutch, as I did before. I was like putting a little bit of foot on it, pulling the clutch, in with the gear, let out the clutch. This doesn't work with the quick shifter, because the quick shifter already takes the gas away. But that's a matter of getting used to. I've been riding it on all kinds of surfaces, about 50% asphalt, but a lot of gravel roads and dirt tracks. What I've noticed is that the suspension is really hard. It's much stiffer than the Africa Twin, which is quite soft compared to it. So it's not as comfortable on the road, I would say. But I have unfortunately forgotten the instruction manual in my car. I left it there.
so I have no idea how to adjust the suspension yet. Maybe I'll make it a bit softer, or I can do a little bit adjustments to get it a bit more comfortable. I'm not the extreme off-road rider, as you know, as we are not allowed to go really off-road in Sweden. Off-road in the meaning no road. Single tracks are off limit here, as are hiking paths and riding paths. So it's mostly two-lane trails like tractor tracks and stuff like that, which is the lower end of the road standard. But still, this bike is a blast if you blow over that. I mean, the suspension is really doing a good job, except that it's a bit more stiff and a bit less comfortable than the Africa. Wind protection is actually quite okay. You know, when I rode the Africa Twin first with that kind of helmet I have here, that one here with the shield, I really had the problem that I got really bad vibrations over 80 kilometers an hour, and it was hardly bearable. It felt like I'm losing my teeth and got a blurred vision. So I needed to have this fork tunnel, which has been commercialized later also. Without that, it wasn't really nice to ride the bike, especially with that helmet. No problem here. Of course, the windscreen is quite low, but I'm not the tallest guy. I'm 1.71 m, so for me, this works actually quite nice. So wind protection is quite okay. I mean, I wouldn't take it for hours over the German motorway, for example, at high speeds. It's not the bike meant for that. That's okay. Seat height, I have the standard one-piece seat still on it. I have tried at the dealer the divided seat of the S model, but I'm not really sure if it is lower. Maybe it's a bit slimmer. I have still ordered it and I will try it. Maybe I'm selling one of the two then later again. The seat is quite comfortable. I've been in the saddle now for 2 days and there's no problem with my backside. Still, the seat height is a little bit higher. It feels a little bit higher than the Africa Twin, and I think it is 1 or 2 centimeters higher. And I can notice the difference. It's not as easy to flat foot with at least one foot. You know, I'm used to having at least. I'm not expecting to have both feet down, or both. It's not stable either. It's better to have one foot down, and normally it's my left one. And I noticed I'm quite asymmetrical in that respect. It's easy for me to get the left foot completely down, move my backside a little bit to the side. Somehow it's harder to get the right foot down completely. So normally when I stop, I have already first gear in, and then I can just hold the bike with the brake lever on the right hand side and don't need to swap over to get my left foot on the shifting lever. So we'll see. Maybe I'll try to get the saddle a bit lower, or if there's an aftermarket seat coming, a bit lower. But then you're also sacrificing the nice relaxed knee angle, which I don't like, because my knees are a little bit worn. So I'd not like to have a much, how do you say, more uncomfortable or less comfortable knee angle for long distance. I have not worked myself completely through the menus and the settings. I have tried a little bit the street mode and the off-road mode, and it feels like the off-road mode is giving you a bit softer gas response. I have not tried the rally mode yet. I would need an open, nice gravel road for that, to play a little bit with that. But then I noticed when you activate it, you got this 9-level traction control, which seems quite interesting. I need to try that once. Also, I have not tried yet the cornering ABS. I have did a few full brakes, and the brakes are really good. I can tell you that. Nice adjustability, but I've not tried yet the cornering ABS, meaning trying a full brake with a certain leaning angle, which anyway seems suicidal, but that's what the ABS is made for, and that's what I appreciate on that bike. Okay, that's it for the moment. I'll take a look now at the lighthouse, which I can show you, which is over there, and there is the sea. And if I get away from this interesting information sign, you will hear will hear how windy it is. And that's going to be interesting because I need to cross the long bridge over the open water back to Kalmar. I hope I'm not blown away. Good, see you, and now some pictures from Öland. Final last words before I really do the video. I'm at home now, by the way, as you probably see. I've been out now for a little test ride with the bike and tried a few of these settings which you can access here with the buttons on the left. There's something called rally mode, as you might know, which is specific for the R model. The S doesn't have that. And man, be careful with that one. If you put that in, you can adjust, as you might know, the traction control in 9 steps. 1 is basically off, 9 is full traction control. I had it on 5, but the first time, and then it works nicely, but the first time I tried it, I had it on 1, and I didn't know how to change it. Again, I didn't have the instruction manual with me, stupid me, when I set out on Öland. And then the gas also gets really sensitive if you set that to rally mode. It's almost on-off. Not really, but it's much more sensitive than the standard setting. And I just accelerated and it was like the back wheel is overtaking me basically. So be careful with that one when you try it first. And some word about the sitting position, about the standing position also. I found the handlebar to be a bit lower than on the Africa Twin. So it's a bit more like this attack forward bend position than the upright, more a little bit comfortable position you have on the Africa Twin. But it's perfect for gravel riding, for a bit more aggressive gravel riding, to put more weight on the front wheel actually. So now, as finally promised, or as previously promised, finally the pictures from Öland, and now I've been talking enough. See you.